In this lesson, we're going to look at multiplying exponents by applying the products of the power property. All right, so how do I use the product of the powers property? First of all, the product of the powers property says to multiply powers having the same base, we add the exponents. So we're going to be adding the exponents. So let's take a look at what that looks like right here. It says a to the m power times a to the n power. You're going to have a to the m plus n. Well, let's show you what that looks like. Let's take our example right here where I have 5 to the 6th power times 5 to the 3rd power. And now remember, they had to have the same base in order for us to apply this property. So what I have then for 5 to the 6th power is I have 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right? And now let's express what it would look like times 5 to the 3rd power. You're going to have then 3 more 5s. So notice that when you put them all together, you have a total of 9 5. So you have 5 to the 9th power. Well, let's take a look then. If I had just applied it using that property, I would say then if I had 5, and I'm going to add these, you get the same thing. 6 plus 3 is 5 to the 9th. So applying that property by adding those exponents. All right, so let's simplify the expression. We have 3 to the 4th times 3 to the 2nd. So 3 to the 4th, remember, you're going to have 4 3's, and then we're going to combine that then with 2 more 3's. All right? Or we're just going to add together those exponents. I have 4 plus 2, and notice 4 plus 2 is 6, and we have 6 3's here. So we have 3 to the 6th power. And if I wanted to evaluate that further, I would say 3 to the 6th power then is equal to 729, because 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is equal to 729. All right, so our next one, we have 2 to the 7th, 2 to the 4th, and 2 to the 5th. All right, so let's just go ahead and let's apply the property by just adding together our exponents. So I'd have then 2, and then I had 7 plus 4 is 11, 11 plus 5 is 16, and then if we wanted to evaluate that further, we would plug that in our calculator. 2 to the 16th power gives us then 65,536. All right, there we go. That's a comma right there. All right. All right, so letter C, we have 3 squared times, negative 3 squared times negative 3 to the 4th power. Let's take a look at this. We have to keep this number in the parentheses. And then, so I have 3 to the 2nd times 3 to the 4th, so I'm going to add those together, so I'll have negative 3 to the 6th power. I can express it like this. In the parentheses, have the negative 3 to the 6th power. If I want to take off the parentheses, though, I need to determine if it's going to stay negative or stay negative, or it's going to become positive. Because you have an even number of exponents, this would then be a positive. So you can also express this as positive 3 to the 6th power. And then if I wanted to evaluate that, I'd have 3 to the 6th power. That would be then equal to 729. And it's a positive 729. So let's take a look at letter D. Letter D, I've got x to the 4th times x to the 3rd. And so again, we're just going to add together those exponents because I have 4 x's and I have 3 x's, meaning that I have x to the 7th. All right, so now we have 5r to the 3rd times 4r to the 4th. All right, so what we're going to do is we need to multiply these two just like we multiplied any other numbers in the past. 5 times 4 is 20, so we're going to have the 20. And then we have to evaluate our r's with the exponents. So I'm going to take and I'm going to add those exponents together. I have 3 r's and I have 4 r's, meaning that I have r to the 7th power. And letter F. All right, so let's take a look at this. So I have nothing to put with this 8. So I have ab to the 5th times 8a squared b to the 5th. So right here, I'm just going to take that. It's almost like you've got a 1 right there. So let's multiply those two together, and you're just going to have an 8. Now we're going to take our a times our a to the second, and you'll have 3 a's then. Remember, if you don't see a number or an exponent there is a 1. And then b to the 5th times b to the 5th, meaning that you have b to the 10th. So in this lesson, we took a look at how we multiply exponents. And when you multiply those exponents with the same base, remember that you are adding those exponents.